Oregon's poultry industry is made up of everything from backyard flocks to commercial poultry operations. Protecting the health of Oregon's poultry is extremely important. As a result, Oregon utilizes the National Poultry Improvement Plan, or NPIP, to protect our state's poultry by performing routine health testing and maintaining national poultry health standards. The purpose of this video is to introduce new or prospective participants to the testing and certification involved in attaining NPIP certification in Oregon. The first step in becoming an NPIP participant in Oregon is submitting a completed application to the Oregon Department of Agriculture. Application packets are available on our website or by calling the Animal Health Office. After your application is received by ODA, a field veterinarian will contact you to schedule your first testing appointment. At this time, they'll be able to answer any specific questions that you may have. After your appointment has been scheduled, there are a few important preparation steps that you'll need to complete before your test day arrives. We suggest you practice a dry run before your first avian health visit, including gathering and restraining your birds. In order to ensure the reliability of the test performed, your tester will need a table and a clean, dry, and well-lit area in which to work. If testing will be conducted outside, please ensure that a canopy or other arrangements can be made if it's raining or the temperature is too hot. In order to test your birds, you'll need to have them confined before your tester arrives. For some avian health tests, extra smaller cages may be needed to hold approximately 5 birds at a time while the tests are performed. When the tester arrives on test day, they'll take several steps to protect the biosecurity of your flock. Immediately upon arrival, they will put on a clean pair of coveralls and clean rubber boots. They will disinfect their boots on arrival as well as immediately before leaving your farm. A key part of your flock's NPIP certification is an inspection of your farm and flock. This inspection is to ensure that your flock is healthy and your farm is clean. Most importantly, testers are looking to see that you are implementing biosecurity steps within your flock. Biosecurity simply means the implementation of steps to protect your flock from disease. In addition to the inspection, your tester will perform health tests to ensure that your birds are free of diseases based on your program participation. The state of Oregon tests for the following poultry diseases: Salmonella pilorum typhoid, avian influenza, Mycoplasma gallisepticum, and Mycoplasma synovia. Salmonella pilorum typhoid testing requires that a small blood sample be collected from all of the birds in your flock, up to a maximum of 300 birds. To collect a sample, the bird should be restrained in a reclined position with the outer wing outstretched. For most species of poultry, your tester will use a sterile hypodermic needle to prick the wing vein and collect a droplet of blood. They will then mix this droplet of blood with a reagent on a glass plate and observe the sample for 2 minutes to determine if a reaction has occurred. If your birds are not individually banded, your tester may ask that each bird be held in cages until the test is complete. If you have any turkeys in your flock, a larger sample of blood will be needed to collect from each turkey and will be submitted to the laboratory for more advanced testing. Avian influenza testing is performed on most Oregon NPIP flocks. A swab will need to be collected from the mouths of up to 30 birds. To collect a sample, the bird must be held upright with the head extended. Your tester will open the bird's mouth, sample with a sterile polyester swab, then place the swab into a tube with a transport media. These samples will be submitted to the lab to be tested by PCR for the presence of H5 or H7 subtypes of avian influenza virus. A few Oregon NPIP flocks have also elected to participate in optional certification programs for Mycoplasma gallisepticum and Mycoplasma synovia. Both of these tests require that a blood sample be collected for further testing in the lab, and that each bird is individually identified with leg or wing bands. To collect a sample, the bird should be restrained in a reclined position with the outer wing outstretched. Your tester will use a sterile syringe to collect 1 to 2 milliliters of blood, which will be placed into a sterile tube and submitted for further testing in the laboratory. After your certification inspection and testing are complete, your tester will ask for assistance in filling out several documents, including a testing and inspection report and laboratory submission forms. Please remember that payment is also due at this time of testing. After leaving your farm, your tester will submit any necessary samples to the appropriate laboratory for further testing. Your tester will generally contact you within 1 week to provide final laboratory results. After your final results are received, new applicants will be submitted by ODA to the National Office for inclusion in the NPIP program, a process which can take up to another week to complete. Once this process is complete, you will receive a signed certificate indicating your participation as an Oregon NPIP certified flock. After receiving your certificate, we advise that you check the National NPIP Registry to ensure that your flock information is correct and notify our office of any mistakes. As an NPIP certified flock, Oregon requires that you report the sale of any poultry within 7 days of the date of sale. In addition to acting as proof that any birds that you sell are NPIP certified, the sales report is also accepted by most states in lieu of a certificate of veterinary inspection when birds are sold to out-of-state buyers. Regardless of whether the purchaser is an NPIP participant or not, reports are required for all sales. An electronic report and instructions for its use will be included in an email with your flock certificate. In order to maintain active status in the NPIP program, an annual inspection and flock test for Salmonella pullorum typhoid is required. Additional avian health program participation requires more frequent testing. Avian influenza certified flocks will require an additional influenza test every 6 months, and flocks participating in the optional mycoplasma certification programs will require tests every 3 months. Your tester will contact you to schedule testing when it's necessary. If you have questions about the NPIP program, or if you require information or address changes, please contact the ODA office at area code 503-986-4680. More information may also be found on our website shown on the screen.